Hi and welcome to Patreon rewards video for November 2017. Today we're going to be going over really quickly some rewards. We're going to be talking about a really quick story that happened to me about midway through November, and we're going to be giving away this postcard, a hand-drawn postcard, to somebody this month. And today I'm joined by my daughter, who is wearing glasses and doesn't need them. I don't know why. Okay, I'm not gonna talk about the glasses. She is the only one of the kids that I have out of the 6 who like drawing. So what do you like to draw?
I like to draw anime, animals, film stuff that you like to draw.
She basically likes drawing everything that I like to draw.
Yeah.
And the stuff that I like to draw is, well, here, let me show you. So today these rewards are going to be, so I'm doing a comic based off of my wife's novels. Last month I did all the female characters. Today I'm going, this month I did all the male characters. And the male characters are going to be like little chibi looking male characters, but they originally look like adults. So for the rewards video, and besides that, I'm going. I'm doing the foot lessons for the drawing website this month too. The rewards videos, the reward are going to be these drawings of these chibi designs of these characters, as well as their adult look. This rough version of the Supergirl that I ended up inking on this postcard. And then I have this head turnaround. And the head turnaround is essentially me trying to solve all the head positions for the female characters. I'm going to end up doing it with all the female characters, but I don't know how long it's going to take because this is already taking a really long time. And and the idea here is to work out the design of all the head turns so that maybe I could just trace over them or copy and paste them whenever I need them, and all I have to do is change the expressions on their faces. So this one is looking up, the other one is looking straight ahead, and this one is looking down. And as you can see, I haven't even put the hair in. I've only kind of done some of this head turn, and it's taking a while, and I have to decide whether or not I like some of these views like this. I'm not sure about this head. So there's a lot of work that I still need to do throughout all this stuff. So that's what this month's rewards are going to consist of. And as you can see, I do have, like, you know, what they look like, what she looks like just standing in her costume. So all I'm doing is working out her head. And so, so this month also, I just wanted really quickly to talk about something that happened to me this month. That hopefully, if you're at work, if you have a creative job, or even if you don't, things may not quite go according to plan, and that means that especially in a job that I've been on the show for over 24 years, which means that there's a huge danger of becoming taking the job for granted and becoming complacent at the job, just kind of going in and having it be rote, having it be just so normal to you that you forget that you're supposed to be giving 100%. So this is actually what happened to me, because the producer, my boss, called me in and said there's been complaints for my work and I was like, my storyboarding work by directors, which came out of the blue for me. I thought I was doing fine, but apparently not. So there was a lot of complaints. So and by multiple directors, and one of them was extremely vocal and very upset, and so what I said. So at first my feelings were hurt, and then I realized that there had to be a real reason for this. And in a lot of the time when you get into a situation when somebody critiques you, especially at a work environment, your first reaction is they're out to get me. That it's like some kind of like they don't like you, so they're trying to get you fired or something like that. That wasn't my reaction, though. My reaction was that this person is a human being. I've been here for so long. I know this person. I'm going to go and talk to them directly and find out exactly what it is. Because if they're going to tell my producer this, I would also like them to tell me. Because I can't fix the problem if they don't tell me directly what the problem is. So I actually went over and I talked to them directly. And each one of the directors that had a complaint against me. And I listened to what they had to say, and I went in there not going in there to defend myself. And that was a huge, that's really, really important. I wanted to hear what they had to say, and I wasn't going to defend myself, and I wasn't going to give any excuses. I wanted to hear what they had to say, and I wanted to be on their side. I wanted to hear what they had to say, and then be in their shoes. And they were perfectly happy to tell me everything that they said to the producer, and I discovered that they were absolutely right. All of them. They had critiques about my work. They said that my work was sloppy, that I wouldn't do what the notes were said, that when they did post-its of what they wanted me to do, that it wasn't what they wanted, that I would miss notes that I had written down, that I was being extremely, extremely sloppy and unprofessional. And it occurred to me, and part of it was because I was treating the meetings that we were going into very casually, because we had changed the style, the way that we produced, that we went to meetings this season. The previous seasons, we would sit down one-on-one with a director, and then we would talk about what we needed to do, what they wanted us to do, and it was very casual, very one-on-one, and then we just take it and go back and then we'd present our roughs, and then it was again very casual one-on-one. This season, what we do is we have a big meeting with all the head directors and producers and head storyboard directors and the director of the show, and in the conference room, and that's where we do it, and it's much more official. And because of that, my friend and I, who I'm partnered with, he's also a revision artist, we had this disconnect because we were still treating it in the same way that we treated this one-on-one casual meetings with our directors, and that wasn't the case. So these meetings were up at a higher standard, and we didn't realize this until I talked to the directors directly and found out that this is exactly the mindset they were having, and we, as the storyboard artists, we weren't having this mindset, which didn't help the critique that they were giving me. So it turned out that after a lot of soul searching and having heard all their feedback and being really open to their critiques, I discovered that I had become complacent at work. I had been taking this work as everyday whatever, and I had stopped approaching it in the style and with the driven obsession that I used to have a few years back, and I had lost it. And this kind of circumstance woke me up because they set the stakes. The producer said, if you don't change and do better in this upcoming show, in this upcoming episode, you're out. And by out, they meant I lost my position as a storyboard artist, not my job. They were going to move me back to character layout, which is fine. It's not like it's a bad job, but I love being a storyboard artist, so I'd rather have kept my job as a storyboard artist. And it wouldn't have helped that being a character layout artist would have given me a pay cut too. So, but I do like my job as a storyboard artist because it's challenging, but it's weird that I hadn't been challenging myself. So, having done a lot of soul searching, yeah, I absolutely agreed with everybody's critique about my work. And I put myself in their position, and I heard their position, and I realized that I hadn't been doing what I needed to do. So what I ended up doing, I put my personal work aside for the next 2 weeks or a couple of weeks, and I killed myself just trying to get back the mindset, trying to rework and redo the way that, reapproach the work the way I used to. And by doing that, I ended up doing some of the best work I've done in years. And on top of that, I'm going to continue doing that because I changed the way I approached everything. I approached the job, and knowing the standards that they're keeping us at, I realized that it's much more fun to have that level of standards so high that I have to really become even better as an artist, as a person, and not take my job for granted and not be so complacent. But it happens after you're in a show for as long as I am in any creative show. It suddenly you're always in danger of doing this sort of thing. And so I actually managed to turn the work around, and I'm keeping my position as a storyboard artist. But what ended up happening was that everybody was surprised at the way I took it. Apparently, this happens all the time with artists at our studio, where they come and they bring them in and they say, hey, there's been some complaints. You ought to do this and that or the other thing. It's like, it wasn't just me. It happens on rotation with a lot of different people. And it turns out that most artists don't take it the way I did. They don't go to directors and ask what's wrong. They just ignore what is being said to them. They get insulted by it. They get their ego is hurt, and then they ignore it, and then eventually they get laid off because they don't do anything about it. They don't try to see anybody's other person's point of view that what they ought to try to help, try to work on, and try to improve. They just think that everybody's crazy and they're out to get them, and they leave in a huff, or they just get laid off. And apparently I was unique in that I actually was open to the critique and wanted to become better. So always be open to critique. Always listen to other people when they're saying something like that, and then decide whether or not they're right. And I realized after having gone through what I did that they were right. That there was something wrong with the way I was thinking and approaching my work, and that I needed to improve. And now I'm having so much more fun at work than I have been in the last couple of months. In fact, a couple of seasons. And I think that the reason that some of the joy or some of the fun had gone out of my work, and it showed, was because I had become complacent. I hadn't been challenging myself until now. So if you can learn from my mistakes and you could learn from what I just went through, I highly recommend that if you're ever in a situation like that, be open to critique, be open to what people have to say. And even if you've been doing it for as many years as I have, there's always something to learn, and there's always a possibility that you can become complacent, and that you can improve and become better, and that you may have lost what you used to have that now you don't have, that you need to get back. All right? So I hope that's really helpful, and I hope that you can learn from that. Okay, so now having said that, let's do our giveaway. So Elizabeth is going to tell us who won this month's postcard.
William Bell.
William Bell. William Bell, you won the postcard, the Supergirl postcard. So I'm going to be sending this to you. If I don't already have your address, then I will ask, or an address to send this to. I will ask you. Otherwise, I'll just send it out. So thank you everybody for being my patron. You help support my family and these 6 kids that I have that I love to pieces. We are really grateful. Say thank you.
Thank you.
And I hope to see you next time. All right, bye.